SpaceX just had the largest IPO in history. In this video, I'm going to talk about how that is going to affect the housing market prices here in the Austin, Texas area. If this is your first time here, my name is William Zhang. I am a real estate consultant here in Austin. If you're looking to invest, buy, or sell here in Austin, Texas, feel free to schedule a call with me using the link down below. Now let's talk about the largest IPO in history, which is $75 billion by SpaceX, happened in June, which is just about last week. On the same day, the stock went up 20%, and then the valuation is $1.75 trillion. This is 2.5 times larger than the previous IPO. And I gotta say, this is gonna affect a lot of people, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about how it's gonna affect the housing market here in Austin as well. Just how big is it really? This is the largest IPO ever. $75 billion. The second largest was in 2019 by Saudi Aramco. Is $29.4 billion. This is basically 2.5 times as big as the last IPO. What does a rocket company have to do with the Austin real estate housing market? The answer is a lot. And it started with one number. Overnight, he minted 4,400 new millionaires. And SpaceX totally had about 22,000 employees around the world, mostly in the US, and 4,400 of them project to become millionaires. And about 400 of them were worth more than $100 million just on IPO day. Currently, I'm recording a video about a week after. I think the stock market went up about another 5 to 10% for the SpaceX IPO. This number is going to be more than that. That means people from Wilders or cafeteria staff held equity. SpaceX is known for their years of lower cash, lower salary, but heavier on stock in terms of their compensation. So the IPO turned that paper into real money all at once. From engineers to skilled trades, I have a lot of clients working in the East Austin Bastrop area, and SpaceX hired tons of people all the time. That's why their Airbnb, their properties there actually do quite well in that area. Now that means that thousands of people have down payment money. You might even mean they might have money to buy the house outright. And this isn't a hot take. Every major outlet talking about it. SpaceX debuts on NASDAQ, jumped 20% on day one. From execs to builders, SpaceX raised 4,400 employee millionaires. SpaceX raises $75 billion. And I gotta tell you, this SpaceX situation isn't something that's random. All of this AI stock boom is affecting a lot of areas, Austin included, because I personally know a friend who works at AMD, and he's been working there for about 10-15 years, for quite a long time as a developer. And one day he just told me, oh, I think I can just retire now if I wanted to. And that's before the AMD stock went up another, I think 100% just a couple of weeks ago. I think around last year, he was telling me, oh, he can retire already. The stock was trading around $160. And then just a year later, the stock went up about 4 to 5 times. And I wonder if he actually sold any of the stock at the time. I mean, I would have probably taken some off the market, but then it just skyrocketed this year. And AMD has one of their largest headquarters here in Austin, Texas. So this AI boom, this AI wave is minting millionaires left and right. So the SpaceX IPO is also going to do the same, and it's going to help that money flow into the Austin real estate market. Before we talk about the Austin market in particular, we got to look back into history, because history will give us a really good indicator of what the future will look like. Has this ever happened before? The answer is yes, it has happened before. And this is what I call the Silicon Valley playbook. Act 1 is Google goes IPO in 2004. It created about 900 millionaires on that day one, including 7 billionaires. And the Google effect is what I call once the shares unlocked, the Google money really bid up the real estate market in Atherton, the priciest zip code in America right now. Then they poured into Mountain View and Palo Alto, targeting about $2 to $4 million homes over the next couple years or so after the IPO of Google. About $19 billion to $20 billion in related cash flow into the local market. This is how the money flows. Money flows from the stock market into the real economy and to the real estate market. This is how people like to take money, from my perspective, the casino, and then take it and buy something real, tangible, like buying their house, first house, second house, first mansion, so they can have the lifestyle that they want. This is how we actually see the money flow into the market. Act 2, Facebook goes IPO in 2012. The housing market in the area went up 20% in a single year to 1.73 million in 2012. And that price has only gone up since then. Menlo Park had $1 million listing, up 87% in 3.5 months. San Mateo County became the richest county in the United States, and home homes that are over $2 million during that year doubled in Los Altos and in Melon Park. And here's one true story. In 2012, a Palo Alto real estate agent told the homeowner 3,500 square feet home is worth about $2.8 to $3 million, but the owner said that's too conservative. So they listed at 3.5, but then the home sold for 3.9 million, almost 900,000 over the estimate. Because everyone was waiting on the Facebook IPO, the sellers held their homes off the market, limiting the inventory. And then at the end, everybody bid it up, and that's how they secure a $3.9 million home sale. So when does the money actually arrive into the real estate market? UCLA actually did a study on this. They had studied about 720 California IPOs, and they studied that the price starts to go up the moment a company files its S1, about 3.3% within 1 mile radius of the company headquarters. Buyers don't wait for the stock to unlock. They borrow against the invested shares and buy ahead of it. And it's very common nowadays because all the tech IPOs. The key point is, so if we apply that same timeline to the SpaceX IPO, we're talking about May 20th when they filed their S1, the June 12th, the IPO day. This is when people realize their wealth. By December, the lockup period expires usually about 180 days. They'll sell their shares and they'll start buying homes in the area. The main takeaway is that this wave actually started just about a month ago. So why Austin? Why Austin, Texas, and not any other city here in America? Because almost all of Elon Musk's empire has already moved into the Austin metro area. For example, Tesla's global headquarters, the Gigafactory, is located here in East Austin, Del Valle, and right now it's currently one of Austin's largest private employer. The Starlink factory, if you read the S1 of SpaceX, this is their primary revenue driver. It's located in Bastrop, 1,000 staff in the area on campus, expanding their campus to 1.7 million square feet. If you're looking to buy homes, Bastrop is actually a fantastic area. I have clients that already bought before they known about the IPO, but now they rented these areas out, whether as Airbnb or as medium to long-term rentals to the Starlink employees, SpaceX employees, X Corporation, Neuralink employees, and they actually charge a higher than market rent. So they do quite well in that area. The Boring Company HQ, the Bastrop area, the Tunning Engineering headquarters is also located there. That whole campus area where Elon Musk's companies are located. X Corp and Neuralink, as I mentioned before, also in Bastrop. But I'm going to be straight with you. SpaceX rocket headquarters actually in Starbase in South Texas, about 5 hours from Austin, because that's an area people can actually build and launch rockets without disturbing the local too much. Not all 22,000 of the SpaceX employees live here in Austin, but the center gravity of Elon Musk's economy is in Austin, Texas. And as I mentioned before, we got the Tesla, Starlink, the Boring Company, X Corp, and Neuralink. They are all here in the Austin metropolitan area. The logic of Elon Musk's economy in Austin and the state of Texas is that we have 0% state income tax. When you go IPO in California, if you become a millionaire, if you net over a certain amount, you basically have to pay 40% to the federal taxes, and then you pay the extra 10%, the 11% to the state California taxes. So that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I have clients who actually escape California and move here because solely of that reason. They can still fly around. Even if they fly around all the time, they will still come up ahead. And Austin has a really good airport now. It's actually very convenient to fly everywhere. The center of everything. New York, couple hours. California, couple hours. Actually in the middle of the America. I like that. And the timing really lines up for the Austin real estate market, because Austin is one of the largest buyers market in the United States right now. Over the past few years, price really has corrected from its 2022 peak. I'm going to go over that data right now so you can take a look at what's going on. The current market in June 2026, metropolitan area is $440,000 in median home prices. And if you're looking at Austin proper, the city of Austin, we're looking at $595,000 in median home prices. Months of inventory, we're sitting at 6.1. This is considered a very slow number. Usually we're looking at 2 to 3 months, 3 to 4 months, but now 6.1 months of inventory means that we're leaning more towards a buyer's market. And 52% of the listing have cut their prices. This is so uncommon. This is not a typical thing. And I think this thing is going to make people who didn't buy during this period here in Austin regret their lack of opportunity. And the correction shows that we're actually down about 16% from the 2022 peak. This is actually not the lowest we have recovered since, because we're at one point about 25% down from the 2022 peak. But the demand is returning. I've seen a lot of pending sales up 15% 100% year over year. That means there are a lot of buyers activity, a lot of transaction activity. We still have this short period window where the seller don't realize that buyers are coming back in, where this is a wave of buyers coming in. So I think this is a really good time that you can take advantage of this negotiation period and get the best price for you, and then just wait for the rebound of the Austin housing market. So here's a quick graph that you can see from the 2022 peak. We're looking at $538,000. We went through the lows of 2023, 24, 25 in the $420,000 range. This is the lowest point from the peak, and now we're recovered all the way back up to $440,000. I personally think that because the new construction inventory is slowing down this year, we might see a limited supply in second half of 2026 and 2027 moving forward, because it takes time to ramp up for new homes. This is actually a really good time if you're looking to take advantage of the buyer's market. Is Austin the next Silicon Valley? The wealth wave is already on the way. The largest IPO ever by SpaceX, creating more than 4,400 new millionaires. Personally think this number is probably higher now because of the IPO price and the lockup period expiring by year end. Austin is the center of gravity of Musk economy. Elon Musk has moved his headquarters here to Austin with the Tesla, with the Starlink, with the Boring Company, with the X Corp, plus the Texas 0% state income tax, where there's tons of people from high tax areas, including New York City, West Coast. I have many clients who either as investments or either as actual primary relocation, they decide to move here to Austin because of the nature, the culture is the most similar to where they're from, and save tons of money on taxes and way better cost of living and enjoy their new lifestyle here in Austin. And right now it's absolute buyer's market. Prices have corrected. We have tons of inventory and tons of options, and sellers all have lowered their prices. I personally see that 2026, we actually can come to the table. A lot of time, the seller in 2023, 2024, they have this misunderstanding of the market, but after a couple years of the down market, people start recognizing that, and now we can actually have a conversation and start negotiating and come to the table together. So this is a really good time. If the Silicon Valley playbook repeats here in Austin, a buyer's market sitting under an incoming wealth wave is the window for you. Whether you're trying to 1031 into an Austin commercial building, you can reach out to me using the number down below. We can schedule a call, walk you through some of the options, some of the listings that we have. If you're looking to just to buy, relocate, find a home here in Austin, Texas, happy to help you out, happy to be of service. And you can download the Austin Relocation Guide using the link down below. And here's my contact information, and you can check out some of my previous video here about Austin, Texas.